Hello, everyone. Namaste. Welcome to Light, Laughter, and Lattes. My name is Geri Habstritt. I'm a medical intuitive, Avesa quantum healer, and Self-Ascension intuitive counselor, and your host today of Light, Laughter, and Lattes on Oneness Talk Radio, which is a portal of positivity, self-healing, empowerment, expansion, growth, upliftment, and you can always find positive shows here. I'm so glad to be here with you today. And so the chat is open, and I welcome you who might be listening on Oneness Talk Radio Facebook or Oneness Talk Radio YouTube. Jump into the chat. I will be there. I often have my co-host with me, Patty Peterson, but today I am flying solo, which is extremely fit for the energy that we are in. So jump in and say hi. Let me know you're there. I also have the call board open, and the call board number, if you would like to call in and add anything. Say hi, whatever it is. The number is below. It's 517-208-1500. And so welcome again. And if you're listening to this via podcast on Spotify or other outlets, you can catch me live here on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time. It's always great to have the live interaction. So join us over here. It is a place of upliftment for sure. So welcome to this energy. We just got through a new moon and also an up level. And anytime we have an up level, it's not only an up level of consciousness, but it's also an out level, meaning we're being called up and out. And so it goes both ways, right? It's the old lion in the cave thing, right? What good are we if we're being called to lift in consciousness, but we're not stepping out into the world with that new energy, with that new action that needs to be taken, with our assistance for our highest good and for our creative capacity to keep expanding, right? Because we are creators, and that's what we do, is we expand. We are light, and that's what light does, is expand. We keep expanding. So now is the time to literally expand out of the cave, right? And maybe you're already out, but every time we have an up level, it's another step out even more. So like the up level is saying even more, even more. And so you may notice that you're having to revisit things that you maybe revisited in the past. You might have to come back to it again and say, okay, here I go. Now I have to do more. And so that's what brings me to today's topic about empowering your divine nature, because that's really what the up level is about, is empowering yourself to go out in the world and express your creative gifts and do what it is you came here to do. And this is a challenge for many of us. I know it has been a challenge for me, because there's been many lifetimes for a lot of us who, when we stepped out and when we stepped in front of people, it didn't go well. Well, it's not going to happen in this lifetime. And we carry that cellular memory in our tissues. And all it is a fear that stops us. So where is this hitting us? Where is this empowering energy hitting us? It's touching the solar plexus. And if you don't know where the solar plexus is, it is right at the digestive system. It is our third chakra. It is, it's our area of empowerment. It's the area where we hold our creative gifts. It's where we claim our creative gifts and we express these creative gifts out into the world. It's where we trust. It's our abundance bowl, right? It's directly correlated to the money that we have in our life, because our creative abundance is the same thing as our spiritual abundance, is the same thing as the reflection of our monetary abundance. So if you are challenged in this area, you may be monetarily challenged as well. These two energies tend to go hand in hand. This is also the area of our digestive system. And it's where we, not only does it govern the digestive system, but it governs our muscles, how we muscle ourselves into the world, how we take action with our strength. And the strength isn't a muscular strength, though that is the symbol, but it's the spiritual strength of empowerment and trust, where I know my creative gifts, I know how to take action onto them, I'm moving out into the world, feeling comfortable being who I am and taking action and knowing that action to take. And so it's the muscular system and the digestive system. And you can notice this energy in a number of places, right? The digestive system covers the pancreas. The pancreas is the sweetness, right? If you have diabetes or one of these experiences in the world, right? It's all about sugar, sweetness. Are you getting sweetness out of life? Are you getting sweetness in your day's work? So it governs the pancreas, the kidneys, the liver. All of those organs are right there in our empowerment center. And so are you feeling this? I know I am really feeling this right now, because it's been an up level. I'm being called out more. Like, okay, what actions do I take? What more do I need to do? So it governs those organs. So you may notice that you're having a hard time possibly digesting food. And this is a big thing for people. Our creative energy is truly our nourishment, isn't it? When you are in your most creative moments, where you're excited, you're inspired, do you truly not even need the nourishment from food at all? You know, I find that when I'm in these moments, I can go days without eating because I'm literally fed by the inspiration of my creative capacity. So the digestion, being nourished by our creativity, we are also nourished in that area by the food we eat. And it is so symbolic. Everything in the medical intuitive world, all our organs are a symbology of the greater energies that they stand for. So it's really easy. You can dissect what's going on with you emotionally based on a physical expression of something. So the purpose of the digestive system is to break your food down into smaller, tiny pieces so that the body can absorb it and you have fuel for the body, right? So if you're in a place where you're not feeling empowered, where you're not feeling, I need to take action, because we're all right now, especially those that have been up-leveled, especially those that are light workers, we're all being called to take more action into the world. And you might be saying, what action? What do I take? This is a big experience that is happening, because complacency is huge, and I get it. So I thought I would move through these steps to help break down the pieces for you. And so if our solar plexus is about our creative gifts, and not only that, but it's our joy center. First, we have to reflect on what brings you joy, right? What are those things that you find focusing your attention on? What are those things that you lose time when you're doing? What are the things that really inspire you? And if you could do anything in the world for your day's work. So let's call it work because it's usually about a job. What is it that you would do in the ideal job? What would you be doing? Who would you be doing it with? How would you be doing it? Okay, so this is where your joy lies, and this is where your creative gifts lie. So it's worth taking a moment and reflecting on that and journaling on that, right? So once you've determined what it is that you love to do, and for me, it's this healing work, and it's also working with children. I love both of those things. That's where most of my joy is, and in creating. So once you have that kind of figured out, then think about ways that would excite you to employ this into the world. How can you take those things that bring you the greatest joy and bring it out into the world? And this is where people get stuck. I will often see people who will have this great dream. They've got the vision, they can vision it, they're dreaming it. That's all good. That's all part of the step. But then their vision is so big that they can't chew it. They take no action because the vision is so big and it isn't broken down into steps. So if you think about it as nourishment or food, you can't get nourishment out of a bite of something that is too big. It just can't be broken down. You can't digest it. So you have to do this same thing with your dreams, with your action steps. So I'll give you an example. I've had this vision for quite a while. How can I get out in the world and assist children in a better way? So I wrote down all the steps. Okay, these are the things that I want to do. I want to teach children how to grow their own food and how to harvest their food and how to use it in medicinal ways and how to cook their food. Just think, if the children of this world learn that one thing, a lot of what we do in the world is to work to buy our food. If we could learn how to simply do that in our own backyards, just think of all the extra stress would be removed from our lives because our nourishment would be so simple, and it's such a good thing to learn. Okay, so I want to teach them how to trust themselves, how to trust their divine knowings, how to create. They're amazing creators and what their vision does and what their creation does, how to move energy, how they can heal others with their energy, how they can heal themselves, how to process emotions, how to see bullies in a different way and how to deal with bullies, how to express what they need and have comfortable boundaries. An avatar school, what they can do with their greater gifts and powers and teach them. So you get where I'm going. I've got a list of all these things, my goals of what to do. So do that as well. Write down a list of what your creative gifts are and what you would like to do with them. And then part of this list would be, what do you need to do that? What kind of support do you need to do that? So I know for me, if I have somebody assisting me, like for example, for this show, I brought in a co-host and it made things so much easier. It's a lot easier to come on and do this weekly when you have someone else to interact with, to bounce ideas off of, right? So sometimes it's just a matter of having another person support you. Maybe it's just once a week or ever so often, not all the time. So gather up all the things that you need to do that. And then we're going to break it down even into smaller pieces. So now I know what I want to do. I know where my joy is. I know the intentions of it, meaning this is what I want to do. I know what I need to support this. And then break it down further. So how can I take these action steps out into the world in a way that I personally can do? And so that's where people get hung up sometimes, where their dream is, I I want to own this gigantic healing center. Well, how do you go from sitting at home to having a gigantic healing center? The step is too big. So maybe you start out slowly. For my idea of working with children, one thing I could do is create some online classes. I could do a get together in my backyard or at a meeting place, maybe once a week for those kids that would be interested. I could create a program. I could spend the summer creating a program and present it to maybe some of the charter schools or some of the private schools and ask if I could come in once a week and offer this to their health class or to their teen living class, maybe, whatever that may be. So there's doable steps along the way, which I personally can do. And then it makes it so much easier. Then you can digest life. You can digest the experience. Then write even further. So now that I made a decision on what it is that I want to go out in the world and do and how I can personally do it, then break it down into action steps. Meaning today I'm going to call this person. Today I'm going to put this program together. Today I'm going to, and then check something off each day and keep walking. Some areas in the body that you might notice if you're having trouble with this might be the left leg, because the left leg is about moving forward into your future. So if you're having any problems on the left side of you, that's a part of this. It's the solar plexus and possibly the leg moving out. The skin, also connected to the digestive system, but our skin is about facing the world. I'm in my highest expression using my creative gifts out into the world, and I'm feeling comfortable in my skin. So these are all places in the body that might be reflecting an aspect of this lioness energy. So Leslie, I love your comment. The face of a lion appeared to me in my meditation today. I'm going to click on that because it's just kind of fun. Hey, it works. Yeah, great. Yes, it is the time of the lion. And if you are having a hard time with this empowerment energy, you can bring lions around you, print pictures of lions and hang them up because it helps. It really helps. Around New Year's time, actually it was Christmas heading right into New Year's, I was coming upon this lion stepping out of the woods energy. And my family went to the zoo and there were so many lions. And the lions were literally coming up to the fence and sitting there close to me that I could put my hands in the fence and pet them. And I knew I was really being called. Well, for about a month after this experience, lions would show up in my dreams and they would just be passing through the dream. Like literally, it would be a dream that had nothing to do with lions and the lions would just be passing through. I was really being called to step into taking action on my creative gifts and stepping out and feeling safe to express the truth of who I really was. And if you're not doing this, you will feel it in the stomach, you will feel it in the digestive system, in the solar plexus. And there's other things too as well. If you are challenged in this area of the body, you do want to take care of these organs and they do need extra support. I'm finding that myself. I just got done with a master cleanse, and that's water, lemons, cayenne pepper, maple syrup. I did that for about 10 days. The lemons are wonderful. It gives your digestive system an opportunity to relax so that you can not only self-heal, but you can move better. You've got more energy. It offers a detox to those organs, so it's a good way to support your digestive system. Now I've been just called to move into more blended foods like juices, smoothies, blended soups. And so if you think about this, this is nourishment that's literally already been broken down. So energetically, you're getting the energy of experiences being broken down so that you can easily digest and take action. And it's easier on your digestive system. For the pancreas, if you're having blood sugar issues, which is also a sign of the digestive system, you can take some CBD oil, wonderful to help regulate the pancreas. Apple cider vinegar shots, that's something I do. Little glass of water with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar twice a day. You can, fennel is wonderful for blood sugar in the digestive system. You can juice fennel. You can put it in soups and have blended soups. The spices like cinnamon, turmeric, ginger, all wonderful for the digestive system. Great tools. And we need those things while we are getting our legs, so to speak, while we're taking our empowerment. Because not only do we need to take the action steps, but we need to also support those areas of the body that are needing extra support. Just like we need extra support with people, finances, classes, whatever it takes, our body needs the extra support of us. And this is an act of self-love, and love equals trust. And that also helps that area of the body. You can wear different crystals, the yellow ones, like the yellow topaz or the lemon topaz. They tend to assist the solar plexus area. Also laying in the sun. The sun, think of the solar plexus. Laying in the sun helps you with an empowerment, a joy energy that will assist that area of the body as well. I'm going to take a little peek at my notes. It's a little different today as it's just me. So I want to make sure that I'm getting everything that I have written down here for you. If anyone would like, jump into the chat and say hi so I know that you're there. That would be great. Oh, yes, yoga. I forgot about yoga. Yoga or Tai Chi, any of those kind of mindful, slow, not really slow, but more mindful exercises are excellent for the solar plexus. Excellent. And if you can get outside and do them, even better. I'm finding lately that nature really does nurture, and it assists with so many things. Little things you can do. Little things you can do to help empower yourself is to just find maybe things that aren't necessarily related to your big goal. Say clean a closet. Maybe have a rummage sale. Little goals that you can take the action steps on and be successful. Anytime you can have a small goal, be successful at it, that empowers you to go on to a bigger goal. I've also found that doing something scary like conquering a fear will also empower you. I'm thinking of, I know skydiving's a big one. I haven't done that yet. Bungee jumping, I have done. And I felt extremely empowered. I bungee jumped out of a hot air balloon and stood on a little platform in which people on the bottom counted down from 10 to 1. And on 1, I had to jump. And I can't even tell you the empowerment feeling. I felt like I was Hercules when I was done with that experience. And so for you, it might be something like, doing a speech in front of a group of people, maybe karaoke. I know that one is even a challenge for me. Any of these little conquering a fear will assist the solar plexus, will assist you to feel more empowered to step out. I can tell you my biggest empowerment experience was when I moved to where I currently live right now in Boise, Idaho, 7 years ago, and I was living in Minnesota. And this was the time that I was just coming out of a divorce, and I was being called. I had to leave my family. I had to leave my children. I had to leave everything I knew and grew up in and move to a complete strange place. And I didn't know anyone in Boise. I'd never even been here before. It was basically throwing a dart out saying, where should I move? It wasn't quite that simple. I had been to Montana and Idaho and connected with the energy, and sat down with ascended numerology and figured out my chart and said, this is where I'm going. I packed up my stuff and I moved to a strange place. And here I am. It was the greatest move I'd ever made. But I can tell you, once I got here, after doing something like that, I felt like I could conquer the world. I felt like there was not a thing that I couldn't do after doing that. So sometimes it takes an experience like that to really help you feel your empowerment. And sometimes if you don't take those steps, the universe will say, okay, here, let me help you. And you'll basically get the push off the edge. That's not as much fun. I've had that happen as well. So these are all things that will assist you taking action and empowering yourself. And hi, Lynn. Thank you for jumping in. Glad to see you. Pauline, thank you for jumping in. Glad to see you. I also have the phone lines open, so you're welcome to call in if you would like a cards of clarity pulled for you, or if you just want to join in the conversation. Glad to have you here. So I'm going to take another peek here at my notes. I've met on the topic of empowerment, claiming empowerment, the solar plexus area, also about the boundaries, is a huge part of a divorce. And I've met so many women, and it's not necessarily just women, but that's who I've encountered, who were in a challenging situation, and they said, well, I just left. I let him have it all and I started over. That seemed easier than having to fight for what was mine. This is not an experience that I had. I had the opposite of that. I knew that I was being called to take action to claim that which was mine. And so and I went through a 7-year divorce. If you're not familiar with ascended numerology is a very accurate way of energetically figuring out things, and especially when it comes to a master soul code. My master soul code happens to be a 7, and that is the energy of the master, which means every experience in my life doesn't just accidentally happen to me. I have to master it. And it doesn't mean that I'm just a master. We're all masters. It means that my life experience is about mastery. So if I'm going to be in the law of instant manifestation, I have to master that experience first. Whereas lessons come easier for people who aren't a 7. So my divorce, of course, was 7 years, 7 years of mastery. And I had to claim every little thing. I owned businesses with my ex-husband at the time. His family used some of their money to start these businesses or to get us involved in them. I did a majority of the work. I had the degree. I took the action. I promoted them. I did the inventory. I did the accounting. I did the bookkeeping, all those kinds of things. So I did the majority of the work in the household, but that doesn't matter. And I've seen so many women just say, okay, I'm going to just step away because it's the easiest and I'm going to start over. And I knew that I couldn't do that, because the message you're sending an energy and motion out into the universe saying, I'm not worth claiming it. I'm going to basically give up on the action steps necessarily. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'll take second place. I mean, you fill in the blank of what it's saying when you're giving up on things that are rightfully yours. And I knew that I couldn't send that energy in motion. If I wanted my life to be easier, I had to claim and go after what was mine. So I was challenged. I was given an ex who said, okay, if you're going to be the lion, then let me see, is basically energetically what he was saying. He did his great job. He played his part perfect. Here, I'll give you your 5% and I'll take the 95%. So I spent 7 years fighting for my 95%. And I had to learn to let go. I had to learn judgment. I had to learn to take action steps through the court. And it was a financial learning. We all know lawyers aren't cheap. And every step I take, it was my lesson in mastery. And I know that if I would have just said, here you go, my life would have been very, very different right now. And I invite the women out there who maybe stayed home with the children and maybe had the attitude, well, I wasn't the one working as the CEO. I didn't make the money. I took care of the household. So I'm not worth the 50-50. It doesn't work that way. We're energy beings. When you're with another person, whether it be a financial partnership or a physical partnership, your energy goes 50-50, no matter what, no matter who's taking the action. I'm aware that in the relationship I was in, I had the higher frequencies and the ability to call in the energy, to call in the vision, to call in the dreams. But I wasn't so good in the first chakra, which was bringing that energy down to the earth. My ex had that energy nailed. He was great in the first chakra. So the two of us together could manifest beautifully. And when you're with another partner, your energy is shared. So it doesn't matter who is doing what. It's the energy of both of you, no matter what. And is it not a 50-50 relationship in energy, no matter who's doing what in the work? So everyone's entitled to a 50-50. And so you may have to claim that. And that's just one area where I received so many lessons on how energy works and how I had to take action and step out and claim what is mine. And I'm still having to do that this day. Of course, on a day where I'm talking about empowerment, where it's in our abundance bowl, where it's in the monetary area. I got a message just today where I'm still having to take action on these businesses, not completely resolved, and having to take another step and step out even more. So I invite you all to see things from a perspective of you deserve, you're worth it, and take action on those creative gifts and take action on that which is for you. And if it is a challenge, break it down, break it down, break it down. Think of the digestive system. How can I break this down even to smaller pieces so I can take one step today and then maybe another step tomorrow and continue taking those steps until you're empowered. If you are really, really challenged in this area, it could be that you have a lot of unresolved issues in the sacral chakra. Now, the sacral chakra is probably an inch below your belly button. And this is where we hold on to the past. And it's usually about relationships. A lot of trauma is stored there. And it's about frozen pictures of the past and being able to flow through the changes of life. And this is where many people get get really hung up. And if you're storing a lot of congestions there, you may not have a lot of energy in the solar plexus because that's right above it. And that energy is being blocked. So if you free up some of these traumas and the energy of the second, that energy moves up and you have more in your solar plexus. So that's sometimes a place where we need to go first is taking a look. Have we let go of the past? Have we forgiven? Have we released those stored emotions and traumas in that area of the body? Because as you do, and as you flow more, and I invite you to be in water because that assists that area greatly. The more you're in water, the more that energy is freed up into the solar plexus for your empowerment. And so, hello, everyone. I'm so glad you're all here with me today. And so I want to do a cards of clarity reading for everyone as well. And last time I had a little bit of fun doing this, where people that are in the chat chose if they wanted a card or not. And I based the reading on the people that wanted a card. And so as everything works, we're all energy. And so we're all co-creating at the same time as you're sitting and listening to this show. And even if you catch this show later, you are part of the layers of co-creation. And we are in a powerful time of co-creation. So the more people that can join in and bring their light energy, their creative energy, their empowerment energy, the more we shift consciousness in the world and the whole planetary thought body. And we are in a powerful time right now of creating our dreams and co-creating together. Things are manifesting very, very quickly, in case you haven't noticed. I'm sure you have. It's been pretty crazy. And so I would like to do a cards of clarity reading right now. And so if you just want to put your name in the chat that you want a card, I'll pick one for you and I'll lay them out and I will give a reading based on that. And if no one responds within a second or two, I'll just pull some random cards and this will be for the collective later. Okay. 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 Perfect. They're always so perfect. And so what we're all collectively, and when I do these readings, they're for the collective that's here listening and the collective who's going to be listening later, as there really are no boundaries in time and space. And I know that's hard to wrap around, but it's truly how things work. And so there is no time and space. We're in a circular multidimensional experience. So better to just accept it than try to wrap your mind around it, because I know about you, but my mind can't wrap around that. So what we're getting ready to resolve is Benevolent Ones 10. Step into the void without any hesitancy. You are benevolent energy in action. And to embody this step, you are being asked to release two things: limits and judgments. The essence of benevolence is kindness, and the intention to only offer kindness is benevolence in action. How can you be kind when you hold limits toward yourself and judgments of others? The first benevolent act you can honestly perform is the one that frees you from the chains of chaos and suffering by walking your path without hesitation. It is the hesitation that is holding the limits. It is the hesitation that is creating the false judgments. Be free to be kind. It is, after all, your birthright. And that is exactly what we were talking about, is walking without hesitation. Hesitation is stored in the solar plexus. It's the hesitation about the action steps we should take. And often there's a judgment behind that. Well, I might screw up. I might do it wrong. I might not be accepted, right? Go on and on and on. And you can think about these limitations. So that's what we're getting ready to resolve on this show today. And what are we going to accept? That's the next card. Universal Rainbow, Ascended Master 15. I love this card. A powerful bunch listening to this. Universal Rainbow, you are the miracle. As you have been seeking the manifestation of miracles in your life, it is time to claim the miracle that is in front of you now. You. Each morning when you arise, you are the experience of the miracle of this planet, this life, this experience of love. Start each day celebrating this truth. Expand this morning recognition into each experience of the day and breathe in the allowing energy that wishes to manifest miracles in all ways throughout your interactions. It is now the time for you to claim this truth without reluctance in any form. This is the moment you have been waiting for. Let the miracle manifest in you, through you, and as you. So whenever I pull a Universal Rainbow card, which we're all getting ready to accept because that's the places it's in, a miracle shows up in my life shortly afterwards. So something I've been thinking about, something that I've been wanting, something that I've been talking about, something that I've been focusing on appears shortly after. So take note, because this is for all of us. Take note of any miracles that might be showing up today, tomorrow, soon. And the energy that's seeking to make this happen is the Yogananda. That's what's in the gateway right now. Yogananda will help make this happen. Ascended Master 8, Yogananda. This is usually about movement, meaning there's some energy that needs to move within all of us. Go out and, think yoga, do yoga, exercise, do something, and that energy will help move. But I would like to read you the card because there's an energy behind the purity of these cards that offers assistance. So, Ascended Master 8, are you a weekend spiritualist? This is the question and indeed the situation before you. It is time to stop just talking about how you wish your life to be and to start living it as a full-time occupation. The complete unity of your body, mind, and spirit is your first priority. All healing will spontaneously come forward on all levels and for all situations when you commit to this unifying principle. Your words have no meaning here. It is your action that is seeking illumination. Dedicate yourself first to your sacred path. Decide in this moment, right now, the one practice that you can commit to doing every day. It can be as simple as one moment of conscious breath. However, the key to your unfoldment is to stick with this every day, not just when it is convenient. This dedication will bring forth empowered energy and new life. Okay, wow, this is what we were talking about. And so, right behind that, right behind getting ready to enter the gateway is Archangel 8, Haniel. And Archangel Haniel is about divine flow. So it's all easier when we have the assistance of flow behind us. Archangel 8. I'm on Ascended Masters. I need to get to the Archangels. There we go. The presence of divine flow is around you now and asks for you to be one with it. In our world, the harmony of all life is a delicate balance that sustains all without taking from any. Pay attention to how you are creating harmony in your world now. Whatever you are seeking to manifest is ready to come forth. All you need to do is remember that balance is a harmony that is worthy of your greater attention. Accept that you are ready to live in the spaciousness that is ever abundant through acceptance of the divine flow in action. So I'm going to kind of summarize this, but if you have hesitancy towards taking action, what this reading is really saying is go out and do something you enjoy, move your energy. You have a miracle that's ready to manifest. And so commit to doing something, commit to going out and doing an exercise, and be ready for a miracle. And remember to keep taking action, keep on with those dreams. Never stop dreaming no matter what. And never stop taking action on a little something with those dreams, because our whole entire solar plexus is about our creative gifts and expressing them into the world. I mean, that's why it's the abundance bowl. It's literally what we came here to do. We came here to express that part of ourselves, out into the world, not in a cave, out into the world so we can be seen, because the more that we are seen and we're out there doing it, the more other people say, wow, look at them. I can do this too. That's why goals constantly go up and up and up. Someone, runs a race in a record time. Others say, wow, look at that can be done. Now I can do that too. So we have to keep putting the benchmarks out there, the benchmarks for joy, the benchmarks for empowerment, the benchmarks for being different in a society that's one way. I mean, I'm constantly going against the grain of society, not in flow, but in the way I do things. And that can become the new norm. So thank you, everyone. And I'm going to take a little peek into the call line and see if anyone has called in. Okay. Nope, we are good, but you are welcome to call in if you have any questions or want to add something to the show. And I've enjoyed being with you all today. So embrace this energy, embrace this up-level energy. I know it can be challenging, especially in that digestive solar plexus area, especially if you're getting the images of the lion. That means you're being called out to take action, and it can be challenging. It can be challenging. So take care of your digestive system, take care of your stomachs, find the joy in things, take little steps, find and collect the support that you need. Write down what kind of support do I need to do this? And go out and seek that support, because I'm finding the support is huge right now. And if you've got the up-level calendar that's been offered by Shri and Kira on their show and shriandkira.com, there's literally a ladder of support that comes up into this period of time, and I am seeing it everywhere. The support is huge. So just call in what you need, command the light and bring what you need in. And I know you will do great. So until next week, everyone, have a great week. And I will talk to you all again next week. Namaste.